A look at Atlanta's opening lineup. Williams and Smith are in there at the forward positions. Bibby and Johnson in the backcourt. And Horford. And for the Heat, LeBron James is out there with Chris Bosh. Then it's Mike Miller. Then there's Dwayne Wade and Anthony. You know, to get an idea of how tough the Southeast was last season, you don't have to look further than Atlanta, who gets the number 3 seed in the conference. But Clark, shockingly, only goes 500 in their division.
Well, you look at who was in that division, the Magic, the Heat, the Bobcats, all playoff teams. No picnic when you face any of those 3 teams. So it very well could have been the toughest division in the East.
Here's Horford. Anthony is tagged with the reach. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Bibby. Johnson against Miller. Knocked loose. It's stolen by Wade.
The closer in you get, the more they'll reach in for the pilfer. You got to protect the rock.
With the Southeast in mind, and with John Wall now joining the Wizards, Clark, this year, it's only going to get tougher in that Southeast.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I mean, a healthy Arenas, you add John Wall. You put a player like that into any division, his electricity and ability, athleticism, it's going to put a lot more pressure on teams that were at the top in previous seasons.
And let's go to Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have for us?
Kevin, it has been said that LeBron James possesses the combination of size, speed, and strength that is unparalleled in the NBA. Point guard Jason Kidd said he's almost to the point of unstoppable. Steven Jackson said that defending him is, quote, like guarding a brick wall. No question, the chosen one, an imposing force, Kevin.
He certainly is. Thanks, Doris. Here is Bibby. The Heat getting the bucket. Johnson outside. The dump off. Takes it up and almost gets it to go, so he'll shoot 2 here. This Heat team really had to ride D. Wade's shoulders last year.
Well, nothing new there, Kevin. I mean, they really leaned on him for a lot of things. Everything in the stat sheet was something Dwayne had to do: score, rebounding, assist, defense. I think some players got a little too used to leaning on him and expecting him to make every play.
Sometimes you stand around and wait for him to bail you out.
That's right, and you become a spectator instead of a playmaker.
Ilgauskas is checked in for the Heat. And he makes both free throws. And with their team-building process, they were biding their time so they could reload this offseason, and now they're poised for big things. And they think a deep playoff push in the East. Bosh powers through the contact to slam it home, and he'll have a chance for a 3-point play. It's going to be on Josh Smith. Some interesting stats start to pop up when you look at the Hawks. They played the 4th slowest paced in the league last year. That kind of surprises me with all their athleticism.
Me too, Kevin. I mean, you would think they would be much more committed to playing at a faster pace, especially since they've got so many guys that would seem to thrive in that kind of offense.
Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Eric Spoelstra. And what'd you find out, Doris?
Kevin, as far as their offensive strategy, he told me the great thing about coaching this team is that he doesn't necessarily need to draw up any fancy strategy because these guys are so smart at that end of the floor. Today, it's more a matter of giving them a few basic ideas and letting them do the rest. Gentlemen?
Thank you, Doris. So shooting is certainly on the menu early in this one.
Well, when you get right down to it, that's the name of the game. You've got to put the ball in the basket.
Joe Johnson said his favorite player growing up was Magic Johnson. Do you see any similarities in their game?
You know, not really. I have not seen anybody I would compare to Magic Johnson. I mean, he was a 6'9" point guard. There has not been another guy like him. There have been 6'7" and 6'8" wing guys that handle the ball well, but there's not been another 6'9" point guard in the NBA since Magic.
Shots good by Williams. Here's Miller. Just over 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Wade outside. Left side, Bosh. And Ilgauskas kicks to Wade. For 3. That's good. Wade's got his first 3 points of the game.
They're all business here. No messing around right now. Perfect shooting to start.
Back to Williams. Wade against Bibby. Takes the shot. A shot by Johnson, no good.
That's not something you'll see very often. Got the mid-range jumper he wanted, but off target.
Here's Ilgauskas, and that one's in from the low post.
You can't let guys get so close to the hoop like that. You got to bump them and chuck them a little bit as they come through the paint. Make them feel you.
Johnson outside. Covered by Miller. Miller gets the reach-in call. That is his first foul of the game.
That's not a good play right there. I mean, that's the 4th team foul, and you're right on the brink of putting your team in the penalty.
The Heat making a switch here. Haslam's checked in. Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for the Hawks. Now here's LeBron. Here's Bosch. And 2 free throws coming up as the whistle blows. He barely missed that one. That's on Marvin Williams.
Bosch posted career highs last season in points, rebounds, and field goal percentage. That's impressive. He really came up big going into free agency.
Yeah, good season, didn't he?
Very strong.
And so he hits both. Here's Crawford. 2 minutes left in the first. And Clark, when you talk about Chris Bosh, he really hit the weights prior to the season. How much of a difference do you think that made in his game?
You know, I found whenever I've trained hard and lifted weights, more than anything else, it was the confidence you gained from going through that kind of rigorous preparation. You just had a different mindset. That work created in your attitude an aggressiveness and a strength, and I think that's the greatest benefit any player gets from lifting weights.
That's an interesting point. Here's Williams. Can they get it? Goes up, and the shot is good from Johnson.
That's too easy. The D's got to get to him about 8 feet further out.
The Heat leading by 6. Looking at this Miami team, the Heat only 9-7, Clark, in their division last year.
But with that division, anything over 500 is a good mark. I mean, 4 teams in the postseason, Kevin, that's a really tough division.
Yeah. Now here's Johnson, following the miss by Chris Bosh. Smith, left side. The shot is off, and it's the Heat taking it the other way. You know, Clark, considering the Heat were a team with so many free agents, a lot of whom knew they might not be coming back, they had remarkable chemistry in their locker room.
Yeah, I think that's a credit to the character of the players, but also the coaching staff. But they did a great job of playing unselfishly and focusing on wins over individual numbers. And I think you'd have to give a lot of that credit to the leadership of Dwayne Wade, quite honestly, Kevin.
Now let's check in with the third member of our crew, Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, Kevin, as you know, Jamal Crawford had a big season last year with the Hawks, and Joe Johnson appreciated the help offensively. Johnson said, guys have to stay home with him, and they don't want to leave him, so it gives me more room to operate. It feels great to have another guy there to make the defense play honest and who can really score the basketball. It takes a ton